Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Gary Reportman. RCW is currently heading for one of its biggest events in the history of the show at RCW King of the Hill being held in Dublin, Ireland. Kicking off the show will be an MMA contest set between debuting MMA talent Tarzan and the Irish legend Michael McElroy. Let's hear from one of those superstars now. I'd like to introduce you to the revolutionary, the visionary behind RCW, the face who runs the place, the heel who signs the deals, the one, the only, Tarzan.
Thank you.
We will now begin taking questions. Yeah, Tarzan, sir. Big fan of what you do and everything like that. My question for you, sir. You're making your MMA debut against a man with a 10-5 professional record. Why did you choose Michael McElroy as your first opponent?
I didn't really choose him or the stipulation, but when he put the offer on the table, how could I refuse a chance to fight someone with a resume like his? And I'm just going to prove I'm that much better. Next question goes to that fat guy front row.
Oh, yes, thank you, kind sir. My question. Michael McElroy has championship experience and has fought legends like Conor McGregor, GSP, Diaz, Lawler, and Anderson Silva. Why should he believe you belong in the same cage?
Why do me and McElroy belong in a cage together? You're here to see it, and so is everyone else at this press conference. I think that answers your question. And you can mention GSP, McGregor, Anderson Silva, but the simple fact is these guys aren't on my level. They aren't the revolutionary, and Saturday night McElroy is going to realize that. Thank you. Next up, we'll do that Mark in the Natalie Isabelli shirt.
Yeah, hi, over here. Tarzan, your listed fighting style is street. What does street actually mean when you're fighting under MMA rules?
The streets taught me how to be a dog. They taught me how to overcome adversity. They taught me a resilience that you simply can't learn between four walls in a gym. On top of that, my billions gave me access to the top trainers, practitioners, dietitians, and doctors in the world. Okay, how about you, Baldy? What's your question?
Yes, hello, over here, Tarzan. You've built an empire worth $47 billion. Why risk everything by stepping into the cage yourself?
Realistically, what risk am I taking? Let's say in McElroy's dream scenario, he gets me in there, gets a lucky knockout before his gas tank empties. Then I lost to a former champion and a legend in my debut. Think about the upside. Even in that scenario as the promoter, I make money off the moment. But think about if I beat him. I am arguably the most dangerous man in all of RCW, so win or loss, this is a massive marketing opportunity. Next up, we'll do the dude in the cheap suit. He's definitely borrowing from his dad.
Yeah, hi, here. My question for you, Tarzan. Is this a long-term venture into MMA, or are you only here for a big fight tomorrow? Like, are we going to expect you to be a regular in the cage, or is this going to be a one-time thing?
No, if there's a challenge to be had and money to be made, I'll be there. So if another opportunity that intrigues me presents itself, as the opportunist I am, I'll have to capitalize. But you shouldn't expect me in here knocking people out regularly. The squared circle is where my heart truly belongs. I love getting that 1, 2, 3, baby. Alright, next question. Next up, we'll do the ugly ginger skank with the green sweater. How about that?
Yes, Taylor, over here. Tarzan, your wrestling career has made you a multi-time champion. How much of that wrestling dominance do you expect to translate into MMA?
You know, I certainly plan to be dominant, but I'm not sure I'll be showcasing much of my typical offense. Unfortunately, there's no ropes to hit a $1 billion cutter, and punt kicks are highly illegal in MMA. So I'll just have to chin him the good old-fashioned way. Alright, next up, Weirdo with the Beardo.
Yeah, hi, Tarzan. The reality that we all know here is that McElroy has spent years fighting professionally. Do you genuinely believe that you can beat a veteran of his caliber in your first MMA fight?
Well, you know, if you don't think I can win, you clearly don't know who I am. I can beat anyone, anywhere, anytime. I am the revolutionary, the visionary behind RCW, the face who runs the place, the heel who signs the deals, the PIMP, the Mac Daddy, you know. I'm the one, the only Tarzan. I'm gonna chin him. That is a fact. I hate to break it to you. Is that guy dressed like a pirate? I gotta hear his question. Come on, buddy, what you got?
Yes, hello. So, you're fighting McElroy in Dublin, where he was born, raised, and has started his fighting career. Is that home field advantage going to play a role in your match with McElroy at King of the Hill?
The only factor that brings in is that I get to listen to his friends, his family, his whole country boo me after I knock him out. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be beautiful. All right, next up, that dork in the back with the round glasses. Yeah.
Yeah, hi. So, fans have compared both you and your opponent to the Mystic Mac, Conor McGregor, for different reasons. Do you have for us a Mystic prediction for how the fight will go?
You know, they don't call me the Mac Daddy for nothing. You know, the Mystic Mac Daddy prediction for this one. Let's see. You know, McElroy, great fighter, great fighter. I'll give it to him. I think it's going to go a long way, long way. I'm not going to be able to get him out of there round 1, not round 2, not round 3, maybe round 4, but I doubt it. I think it's going to take me all the way till round 5. And then, once we get to round 5, he's going to be tired. He's going to be gassed out. He's an old man. I'm going to chin him. Round 5. That's my Mystic prediction, baby.
We have time for one final question.
Alright, you heard the man. Mr. Newsman says you guys get one more question. Let's make it a good one, baby.
Yeah, wait, over here. Stop. When the final bell rings, do you expect people to remember this as Michael McElroy's legendary return? Or the night the revolutionary became the legend killer?
You know, I think no matter what, you gotta give him credit for stepping into the cage with a man like me. He hasn't fought in 10 years. 10 years is a long time. 10 years ago, I was a child in the 5th grade in the streets of New York, you know. And I don't want to point facts to fiction, but that's just how it is. Father Time is undefeated. So, while he is making a glorious comeback one last time, perhaps, I don't think it's going to go very well for him. You know, I'm not going to let him win just because we're on his home turf or because he's a legend. I'm going to knock this man out, and that is a promise. Okay, thank you guys. Have a good night. I got more training to catch up on.
Alright, that's all the time we have today. Thank you, Tarzan, for taking the time to answer these questions. And we will see you facing Michael McElroy in the opening bout at King of the Hill. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Moments ago, we just heard from Tarzan, who seems to be brimming with confidence as he prepares for his match against Michael McElroy, the Irish legend. But now we hear from the other side. This is Gary Portman for RCW, and I am pleased to introduce to you the Irish legend, Michael McElroy.
What? Listening to Tarzan was like listening to nails on a flicking chalkboard. Alright, I'm here. You're all here. Let's get this done and over with. I've got things I need to do, but I'm willing to answer your questions.
Alright, let us begin then with the first question.
You in the back there. Hi, yeah, hello, McElroy. So, you've already fought some of the biggest names in MMA history. What makes Tarzan a different challenge, and why come back to fight him of all people? For starters, Tarzan's not going to be a challenge. Tarzan is stepping into the ring for the first time in his career, stepping into an MMA ring for the first time. And people are saying that he's going to be a challenge. No, he's not going to be a challenge. I don't care what he's done to get ready. At King of the Hill, you're going to watch a man who hasn't put in the heart and the work and the effort that I have to this business. And you're going to watch him as he steps into the ring getting his arse whipped by someone who knows the sport in and out. I came back to fight him because he threatened my people. He wants to call himself King of Dublin when I am the Irish legend, and I'm not going to have him just run roughshod over wherever he wants to. Okay, yeah, you're over there. Hello, McElroy. So you're coming into this fight with a 10-5 record and years of championship experience. How much does that experience matter against an MMA debutant? Experience is everything. If you're walking into something and you haven't ever done it before, you're going to make mistakes and you're going to make things happen that really shouldn't have happened because you don't know what you're doing. You're just stepping into something for the first time. And Tarzan's making a huge mistake because he's coming in and he's fighting me for the first time when I've got all this experience, and he is about to learn what happens when you throw yourself into the fire instead of just easing yourself into it. You don't just throw yourself into MMA and expect yourself to succeed. No, you've got to ease yourself into the process. You've got to take the losses first before you just decide, I'm going to step up and I'm going to fight the big man. And Tarzan's going to learn that lesson at King of the Hill. Yeah, you over there. So, Tarzan calls himself the Revolutionary. Do you see him as a legitimate revolutionary fighter, or just a pro wrestler street rat who thinks he can fight? Oh, definitely a street rat who thinks he can fight. Listen, I tell you what, there are nearly a few wrestlers who can go from wrestling to MMA and actually succeed. I think the one exception to that rule is Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar got by with it because he's freaking Brock Lesnar, alright? Brock Lesnar can get by with it because he's Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar is a legend and should be respected for what he can do. But to take a guy like CM Punk, who tried this same thing, been in wrestling for years and tried to get into the MMA, what happened to him? He got his arse whipped a couple times, and then it was done. He called it quits. So you can't just expect to go from wrestling to MMA and expect to do well, and Tarzan's about to make the same mistake here at King of the Hill. Yeah, next one.
Hello, hi, over here. So you, McElroy, have defeated elite competition and held championship gold. What do you believe going into this fight is your biggest strength and the biggest weakness in Tarzan's game?
What he talked about here. Tarzan is an inexperienced, egotistical person, and he thinks that he just to walk in here and, just take a win over me because he's Tarzan. No, that's not how it works. No, you're going to see that his inexperience is going to cause him to make several mistakes throughout the fight, and you're going to see that his biggest weakness was the fact that he didn't take some warm-up fights first on his way to fighting me. So you're going to see whenever we get into that ring, that unlike Conor McGregor, that has earned the right to talk the smack that he talks, Tarzan is walking in, and he's going to get his arse whipped, because he does not have the experience to take it into the ring. Oh, alright, you there. Yeah, hi, over here. So, Tarzan's fighting style is listed simply as street. What does that mean to you, McElroy, when you step into a regulated MMA cage? Come again. he the bastard listed his fighting style as street? That means he's scared. He's scared and he's unprepared. He's sitting here and he wants to fight me. But all he can do to think of his fighting style is say, I'm gonna put down street. The fuck does that mean? No, what it means is that you're scared. And you don't have a proper fighting style because you know, if you put down a fighting style, you know that I've fought several people with several styles of fighting. And you think if you put down street, that's going to throw me off my game. No, it means you're the one that's unprepared, and you're the one that's going to get your arse knocked out by about round 1, 2, maybe 3, if you're lucky. What a joke. Yeah, you over there. Hi, yeah, over here. So, speaking of Conor McGregor that you mentioned earlier, you fought Conor McGregor multiple times on his rise to stardom. Do Tarzan's mind games remind you of McGregor in any way? Oh, they remind me a lot of McGregor. But here's the difference. Number one, McGregor is Irish, so he's my king, he's my blood. He's my brother from another mother. He is fellow kinsman that, yeah, he may be egotistical, but at the end of the day, he's going to shake my hand and I'm going to shake his. Because we're both Irish, and we're both part of this wonderful country. And he's also earned the right to talk the smacks that he talks. Tarzan, on the other hand, not stepping into a ring until King of the Hill. He's got no right to talk the way he talks. Matter of fact, I would put money on the fact that Conor McGregor could whip Tarzan's ass as fast as I could. Just for the simple fact that we're both Irish, we both love to fight. And Tarzan is not going to be ready for that when he steps into the ring with an Irishman. Yeah, you over there.
Hey, McElroy, so it's been 10 years since you last fought. How important of a factor is that layoff in your eyes?
Well, the layoff is everything. You take someone like me who has not been in the cage for 10 years, and you come in and you take down this new young upstart who's looking to have a promising career, and you shut it down with a knockout victory. That's going to mean everything. That's going to mean absolutely everything. It's going to mean that I've still got it. I'm still in me prime. See, a lot of people think that I'm not in me prime. I hope you've been watching me matches in RCW that prove you otherwise. I just made Tyler Cross tap out in a match recently. So yeah, no, it's going to mean all the payoff in the ice to take down Tarzan coming back after 10 years of absence. Alright, you over there. Alright, yeah, so, this fight is taking place in your hometown of Dublin. What does it mean for the Irish legend to make his comeback on Irish soil? It means everything. It means absolutely everything. It means I get to watch all my friends, all my family come out to the ring to watch me put down a stupid upstart. They get to come out and they get to see that I'm still fighting for them. And as Tarzan lays down on the ground after I'm done with him, I get to go to my local pub and I get to share drinks in victory with my people, my friends, and my family. That means the entire world to see my people watching me as I take down this billionaire playboy that is Tarzan. Yeah, you over there. Hello, so Tarzan has billions of dollars, an empire, and enormous confidence. Do you think his wealth and fame have made him underestimate what it takes to fight you? Or did he use his resources to properly prepare for a fight
against a legend like yourself. Well, I'm not going to doubt that the man probably used all of his money to try and get himself ready to fight me. But all he's got is his wealth and his fame. He has clearly underestimated what it takes to be in an MMA ring. I've talked about it throughout the previous questions. Where leading up to this point, you're talking about his wealth and his fame, and absolutely he's underestimated what it takes to be an MMA star. And I'm going to show him exactly what it means to be an MMA fighter at King of the Hill. Alright, we got time for one more question, I understand? Yes, we have time for one more question. Alright, one more question. Yeah, you over there. Hi, over here. So, when the cage door closes at King of the Hill, what exactly are you, the Irish legend, going to prove to Tarzan and to everyone watching? Well, I'm going to prove exactly what Tarzan said was a bunch of hot air. Tarzan went into this wanting to be the king of Ireland. He's going to walk out with bruises and humiliation by the Irish legend because he thought he could take it in the ring with me and ended up just being a washed up billionaire playboy who shouldn't have stepped into the cage in the first place. I think that's it. Thank you for your questions, and look forward to watching me kick Tarzan's ass from one way to another. Thank you.
This is Gary Reportman. You've heard it here first. This is looking to be a very violent MMA rules match to open RCW King of the Hill between Tarzan and Michael McElroy. Both are brimming with confidence. The question remains, who will walk out on top? This is Gary Reportman. Thank you for tuning into this press conference.